Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Super Deluxe Gamescast. It is Thursday, January the 4th, the first podcast of 2024.
We've been so fucking busy.
Guaranteeing you, it's going to be just the most, it's going to be a good year for gaming, I think, and just an absolutely cursed fucking year for literally everything else. But at least we got gaming going for us, right? Woo! Anyway, guys, first podcast of the new year. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about some predictions that we have. We're going to talk about some stuff that we missed last year that we're going to try to get into in 2024. We might talk a little bit about what we got coming up at PAX this year. But first and foremost, dude, look. Gabe is back on the podcast after several years. One of the founding members of SDGC.
I honestly would not be surprised if a lot of the regular viewers and listeners, community members, don't even recognize Gabe at this point because so much has changed over the last few years.
I was going to.
Yeah,
I recognize Gabe. I
could never forget
right now
Gabe.
watching this, who the hell are you?
I always hold Gabe in my heart.
Never forget Gabe. No, Gabe, you look fucking great, dude. You look like you're thriving.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's been a lot of stuff happening in my life over the past few years. I've been, the person you guys knew when this whole thing started, and the person I am right now, wow, it's completely different.
For the better, I hope.
Yeah, for the better, yeah, definitely.
You've taken a very healthy social media break too, so
yeah, man,
I'm feeling the confidence, Gabe.
You can see it in my face, right?
Yeah,
I can absolutely, dude. Oh my god, this is so cool to have you back on, man. This fucking rules.
Really
dude.
happy to be here, man. Miss you all guys so much.
Oh my god, dude, we missed you, man. We really fucking did. Well, maybe Jeff didn't miss you, but I know I missed you.
Wow.
Yeah, he did.
You're not allowed to be mean to Jeff. All right.
That's true.
So,
it's enshrined in our new constitution.
Absolutely. Gabe was here back in the days of Shit Taste Jeff and After Hours Jeff, like his two alter egos.
I forgot about Shit Taste Jeff. How did I shed that?
Jeff.
I don't even know.
Yeah. What happened to Shit Taste Jeff? Like,
I don't
he's
know.
on now.
I stopped playing Ubisoft games.
I like oh, Jesus, Jeff. You know what? I like this Jeff best. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and get right into it. I just want to point out, I just got an ad on our stream, like looking at our Twitch for Miss Who cotton high-waisted soft women's underwear breathable panties. So you can't even escape those underwear ads on Twitter. You can't escape them on Twitch.
Audience too, like a really weird read of who's watching us.
Is it? Like, I mean, I'm sure
everyone knows most of the women who watch the show are trans. Like,
they also they come in so many colors. I see black and looks like a taupe.
John, I don't know if you know this, but men's underwear also can come in many different colors. This is you can accessorize as well.
Don't start shilling for another product on air.
Yeah,
no shit. Seriously? Men's underwear comes in different colors?
Yeah, dude.
I mean, I haven't worn underwear in like 10 fucking years, so
I knew this was going somewhere. All right.
Hey, don't worry, man. Me too. I don't know. I remember the last time I wore any underwear.
Gabe
Yep.
gets it.
Things need to breathe down there.
Free balling is the only fucking
That's what Gabe
way,
meant
dude.
by
It's
the person we knew is gone, and so was the underwear.
Nah.
Why?
Underwear. I barely ever wore any underwear ever. So,
but it's hot down there. I don't
Underwear
blame
sucks, dude. Why not liberate yourself from the confines of you should hang free as best you can.
This is great
That's
content. This is what happens.
SDGC
This is what
stands
happens
for
when we have no news.
Sweaty dudes genitals cast.
You came up with that insanely fast.
That's when you know things are slow. And gaming news.
All right.
Oh my god.
We got
chat is already off the rails. Okay,
Good.
Let's go.
Good.
All right. We got some shit to talk about. We are going to start, before we get into anything else, as always, we're going to start with what we've been playing. And you know what? Let's let Gabe go first, because Gabe is back. It's exciting. Gabe, past 7 days, what have you been playing?
You know, I know I've been really late to the VR party, but ever since I got the PSVR 2, I've been just obsessed with just one game. Beat Saber.
Oh, fucking Beat Saber.
I've been playing that thing so much that on that wrap up thing that everything does these days. What was my most played game on PlayStation? Beat Saber with over 80 hours, and I got the thing for like 1 month and a half. And then I decided to buy a MetaQuest 3. Yes, I've been playing other stuff, but
it's a
than
noticeable step up from the Quest 2. It's a noticeable step up.
I never played. Yeah, I never played the Quest 3. I never played the Quest 2, but
is this your first time with VR, Gabe?
Nope. I had a PSVR.
Oh, okay, yeah.
To be fair, the original PSVR, like, I don't know that it had a whole lot of magic going for it, right? Like,
no, it didn't.
No. But it was like it was cheap at the time when all the other headsets, like this was before the Quest became more affordable. Because like I had the original PSVR and like it was a nice way to get a taste of the experience, and I didn't have a good computer at the time. So like I appreciate it for what it was, but definitely it was like rough technically.
Yeah, especially because it was constrained to the PS4, which definitely didn't. It wasn't made for VR games, so yeah, it wasn't good. So yeah, I got the MetaQuest 3. I've been playing. I played a little bit of Half-Life Alyx. I bought a few games on the latest Steam sale, but yeah, I just can't resist.
How does Beat Saber work? Does it have like an original track list, or is it like licensed music?
It's licensed music.
It's a mix of both. There's a lot of original stuff, but there's also licensed stuff you can get.
Okay.
Yeah, can buy packs. I've bought a lot of packs on PSVR 2, but now that I got the Quest 3, I've been playing on PC. I modded it. Been playing.
That's the way to go.
Songs.
That's the way to go.
Yeah. Custom songs all the way, baby.
So what I will say, Gabe, is the MetaQuest 2 made me want to fucking yak. Like that motherfucker, when I would 10 minutes on, like it was impressive as hell. Like I tried playing Resident Evil 4 on it, like you know, not the new one, obviously. But it was really fucking cool, dude. Like you're like, I'm walking around my big ass basement, and you know, I'm holding my fucking, you know, holding my gun just like Leon does, you know, and like it's a really cool fucking experience. But the moment that the camera starts moving, dude, I wanted to just.
Was that just the Quest, or is that just you in VR?
Yeah.
Just the Quest.
Oh,
like the Quest,
weird.
For whatever reason, dude, the refresh rate on that motherfucker made me want to fucking die.
Because a higher refresh rate is supposed to be better.
So
you know what it might be, John? You
know.
Always use the Quest in standalone mode, right?
Yes.
See, I have a Quest 2, but I almost exclusively use it like hardwired, like doing the Quest link, or I guess it's now like fucking Meta Link, whatever, to my PC. And like I got a pretty good PC, so it can run, you know, a pretty good resolution and frame rate on that. So I wonder if maybe I'm just getting better performance than you're getting from the headset itself.
No. Seriously, dude, I tried. So it was like I got Vicky the MetaQuest 3, Gabe, and I tried that thing on, and it is such a step up from the Quest 2 that I almost can't believe it. Like zero. I tried Resident Evil 4 just to test it for 50 minutes, and I didn't feel disoriented or dizzy once. Yeah, and I think it has to do with not just an increased refresh rate, but also like, you know, a higher visual fidelity, less blur. I think it was the blur that did it for me, honestly.
Yeah, the lenses, these pancake lenses, they call it, right? Yeah. So much better, much more clear. It doesn't have the distortion around the edges.
That like vignetting.
That PSVR, the PSVR, you can see that when you start noticing the corners of the screen, you can see a little bit of distortion. So
yes, you get that like that screen door effect, right? That's what I used to call it anyway.
It's in the PSVR 2. It's way better than of course, compared to the first PSVR. I think the quality is amazing of the PSVR 2, but yeah, when I put on the Quest 3, when I looked at that image, I was like, holy shit! I mean, PSVR 2 is good, but this is amazing. I keep trying to see the screen door effect. I mean, it's there. For a moment, for a few weeks, I thought it wasn't there, but depending on how far things are, especially when you're in mixed reality mode, when you're looking at that interface, if you push it, you know, far away, then you can start seeing a little bit of screen door effect, but seriously, it's almost negligible. So
I'm
It's
actually
great.
like, I don't ever think VR is going to like take off the way that some people insist / hope that it will. Like it's just not going to, not in the next decade anyway. But I am excited to see the advancements in the tech. If the Meta Quest 3 is that much of a leap, or like, isn't Apple coming out with one that's going to be like $4,000 or some crazy shit?
Yeah, that's not going to
Well,
catch on.
Oh,
but that
Oh, no,
I
of
thought
course
that
not.
wasn't the consumer facing one, or it was like
I think it is.
there was a catch to the price. Like it wasn't intended for mass production. There was a reason I don't know. I remember the talk about
I
it.
think it
when
also
when
isn't
was announced.
$4,000. I think we're exaggerating greatly there.
Hey, real quick, I want to shout out Huggable Hipster Gaming in chat. Ariel Dannon, she does great Souls content. You guys know that I love, like, I'm a Souls guy, right? Like, you guys know I love Souls content. Great stuff. If you love Souls games or Soulsborns, whatever we want to call them these days, go check that channel out. Absolutely, really entertaining stuff. Good to see her in chat. Gabe, you got anything else, buddy?
nope. That's basically what I've been playing.
Okay.
Is
Can I
I
go next?
will,
Because I'll
yes,
be pretty
Derek,
quick.
please.
Yeah. So I mentioned on the last show that I got unfortunately Digimon pilled, and I just played like a shitload of Digimon games. Like, well, okay, so I played a shitload of
sorry.
Digimon World.
I don't like it.
And
I don't like it.
here's the problem. Is it's really only gotten worse, right? Because I played through the 4 Digimon World games that came out on like PlayStation through PlayStation 2 era. And then I started watching Digimon Try, which is like, you know, the kids from the original show are like grown up and depressed now.
Okay.
And they did like 6 movies of that. And now I'm playing Digimon World Next Order, which is the like relatively recent like PC, Switch, PlayStation 4 release.
That the VN?
No, that's Survive, which I do
Okay.
also want to try because I've heard a lot of people dig it, and we'll get there. And like Digimon World Next Order is just like it's straight up a sequel to the original Digimon World. It's the only one of these that has tried to keep that same set of mechanics, the same style of like exploration and city building, and like the same mechanics of monster raising and fighting that I kind of liked about the original. It's probably the closest to a good game that I've played out of these so far. Though to be clear, like none of them are great standalone games.
Then why are you playing them?
I'm kind of like, also, man, I got so much nostalgia for Digimon, dude. I
Okay, but
love
Derek,
Digimon
the monsters
as a kid.
are
I
inappropriately
get
fuckable.
that you don't like. See, it's funny that you say they're
That's
inappropriately
really-
fuckable when the first one you saw was the horrible muscular horse.
That muscular horse is having too much sex.
Probably.
fucking
I don't know.
What's the muscular horse called? I'm now
It's called
curious about-
Unimon.
No,
if you want to
Derek,
look
no,
it up,
CJ, don't do that to
look it
yourself,
up,
man.
Look it up.
I want to see
CJ.
buff Mr. Ed.
I mean, you're not far off the mark. It's
Yeah.
inappropriately
He's got a horrible human
buff.
teeth. It's really.
Wilbur, this motherfucker. Oh my god.
It's
Oh
unacceptable.
my god.
But,
Look at this dude.
But that's
Holy shit.
that's literally all I've been
This
playing.
is an 18 and up game, right?
Is
Dude, these
Digimon World Next
monsters
Order.
are one step. These monsters are one step above, or like one step below, fucking Persona monsters.
Every Digimon
okay?
was designed by a
Like-
13-year-old. They're all either what a 13-year-old
So
thinks is
sick.
cool or what a 13-year-old thinks is sexy. It's those two things,
Or
and
what I
that's
think
it.
is cool.
Basically, like, imagine
Oh,
if
yeah.
David Jaffe designed Pokemon and you got the Digimon.
But like I'm having a good time. Errol in chat is asking if I've played Cyber Sleuth. That's the more traditional like menu based like RPG that they put out. I did play that. I did like
So
it.
which one? The ones you're playing now. What are they? Like what genre are they? Are they also like
They're
RPGs?
RPGs, but like it's just different. Because it's like combat's real time, and you're actually just like kind of yelling orders to like your AI controlled, like your Digimon act on their own, and you can kind of give them suggestions, but you just have to have trained them to fight right, basically. But other than that, it's like it's a lot of exploration. There's a lot of like trying to like, you know, recruit like new characters to come back to town that like build up the town and add new features to the town as the story progresses. It's kind of weird. There's not really anything quite like it. You know, and I think that novelty is really pulling me through what is like basically like a 7 out of 10 game otherwise, right? But
That's being fucking generous on what I saw.
I'm having a good time. This one, the PS4, PC, Switch one, is way better than the original PS1 game. But like, I'm digging it. Also, it does the thing. Here's what I've learned about Digimon as I've gone back to Digimon as an adult. There are Digimon things where the world is like a weird, silly, nonsensical fantasy world that people get dropped into.
It's Twitter.
Sure. But like there'll be like a phone booth in the middle of the forests and the farms grow meat, right? Like like plant monsters grow meat on a farm, like just weird Alice in Wonderland shit. And I kind of love that. And the version of Digimon that's all like Mega Man Battle Network, where it's like, here we are in beep boop cyberspace, walking around on neon pathways as numbers float in the background. That shit's lame as fuck, and I don't like it. So that's it. Those are my opinions on Digimon.
Derek, I said on Twitter that you were talking about fucking Digimon again, and somebody was like, "Is he talking about fucking Digimon?"
No,
or
I'm not talking about fucking Digimon. I'm talking about
is he talking
playing
about
the video games, and you need to be careful with my reputation, good sir.
I'm just
fragile
saying,
enough
You're
as
on
is.
this podcast. What are you talking about?
I mean, yeah, dude. Like,
Can I sing the
like,
Digimon theme song? I haven't had enough alcohol to sing.
Can you sing 1 Week by Bare Naked Ladies?
Haven't had enough alcohol to do that either.
That's Digimon adjacent.
So, I have to ask: Are Digimon inherently sexual creatures?
No, they're
It's
not.
a fucking kids anime.
No, they're not.
John, what the fuck are you talking about?
Because they look like.
I hate that your
that's like
primary frame of reference is the horse, though. Like, that's the one that you're like.
But they all look like that, Derek,
Okay,
and you
but
fucking know
You
it.
haven't even
So,
looked up
I
the
think-
worst
hold on.
ones, John.
I think we need to go back and identify why John is so attracted to this horse. That's what I need to
No,
like,
we
I'm
don't.
looking at-
We don't need to examine
we don't
that
have
at
none
all.
of
Not
show. Not
attraction,
this
my
podcast.
friend.
Nope.
Not on this podcast.
It's
because
repulsion.
I don't find this horse sexy at all. I find him sick as hell. Not sexy.
I don't think it's sexy at all. What I think is that I have long said that there is no God, that there is no religion, there's no nothing. And one look at that fucking horse, dude, in a world you tell me, in a world with a loving God, that fucking horse, that design exists. Bullshit.
It's not
Bullshit.
ideal, that's for sure.
I like his teeth.
Fucking absolute garbage. I'll go next because I can't talk about Pokemon or Digimon or whatever the fuck. Like I can't talk about Digimon anymore.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
I've been playing 2 games. I've been replaying Final Fantasy VII Rebirth in anticipation of remake in anticipation of Rebirth next month. Hard to believe that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming out in like just over like it's wild. Like it's next month, man. Like fucking finally. And I feel like we waited, like the time. What's interesting to me is that the time between the announcement of Final Fantasy VII Remake and the release of Final Fantasy VII Remake and the release of Rebirth is much smaller. Which is good.
They have like a game
It's,
that they made so that they can just make more of that now. So
It was it was 5 years and 3.5 years.
Yeah, and I think
So-
we kind of all expected it to
But
be
the-
another year and a half.
No. Announcement
first
was it
one was-
more? Oh no, sorry.
No, the
sorry.
announcement was 2015, and then it
Yes.
was rebooted in 2017 and released in 2020. So actually, like, I'm sure they kept some of the work, but honestly, even the
Sure.
first game, I know it got a lot of like flack, but like modern development cycle, like 5 years with a reboot, 2 years in is like not bad. And yeah, like you said, John,
Not at
like,
all.
you know, a lot of the assets and like, I don't know if gamers want to be mad. I hope they reused a shitload of assets. I hope it saved them 2 years. I hope
Yeah,
they did
me
that.
too. Me too.
You know, I
And-
hope they iterated on stuff instead of rebuilding everything from the ground up.
The game itself.
Just give me that story.
I mean, dude, the game itself looks phenomenal. The map is huge. There's
I'm
tons of
I'm
stuff to do.
very interested to see. I love, like, I think 7 remake is gorgeous, and the PS5 version looks incredible, and like it's documented, like you know, the infamous door and the rocks in Chapter 8. They like there was just some of it I think was like
Yeah.
Unreal Engine.
And there was that
loading stuff.
Midgar.jpg controversy.
Yeah,
like,
some of the
yeah.
skyboxes and like some of that I think was Unreal Engine nonsense, but some of it was probably like RAM limitations or something on the PS4. So I'm curious. I'm not getting my hopes up too high because I feel like this when it started. I feel like a lot of games still started on PS4 before they decided to ditch it. So I don't really truly believe it was built from the ground up for PS5, but obviously the decision was made early enough. I'm hoping that like at least, you know, if it looks just like the first game, that's great. That game looks amazing. But
This
I'm
is
hoping
not a
that like
cross-gen
it's just a
game,
little.
right?
What's that?
This is not a cross-gen game.
No,
That's what I thought.
because even the remake DLC intermission was only PS5.
And also, in case anybody wasn't aware, this game is on 2 discs. It's a 2-disc game. I think this is the first PS4 and like I had never heard of a PS4 game on 2 discs, let alone like a PS5 game. So that like this game is enormous.
Two discs meaning what? Like the whole game's on 2 discs, or one is an installed disc and the other one's a play disc? Because like there are other
I'm not
games
sure.
like that.
Now I know you only need to play on 1 disc, but you have to.
No, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you're not swapping discs like back in the PlayStation 1 days.
It's fucking hilarious.
Because it doesn't like.
But
games,
it also
no
like
game
it
reads
kind of
from the disc anymore. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But so yeah, I've been playing that, replaying. I mean, I've played it, several times, but I'm replaying it to just refresh myself before Rebirth comes out. I've also been replaying Parasite Eve because it's a Christmas game and I wasn't able to play it earlier. And I kept having to like pause my playthrough, but now I'm finally. I'm replaying Parasite Eve, one of my favorite games of all time. And I want to actually, you know what, on the topic of Final Fantasy VII real quick, if I want to loop back to that, CJ, you asked me a question the other day, and it was, do I need to play Crisis Core?
That other day was today, John.
Was it today? Time is meaningless.
It's not real.
You asked
it's a
me,
circle.
It is. You asked me if you needed to play Crisis Core before you played
Rebirth.
And Rebirth.
Because I'm like halfway through Remake.
Right. So if you were playing just the original Final Fantasy VII, and this is for anybody who's listening too, and you haven't played Crisis Core with Rebirth about to drop, and I think Jeff and I think everybody here will agree with me. If you were just talking about the original PlayStation 1 Final Fantasy VII, I would say no, you probably don't need to play Crisis Core before that. It'd be nice, but you don't really need to. With what they're doing with the continuity in Remake and Rebirth, I think you absolutely should play Crisis Core before you play Remake. Before you play Rebirth.
There's a lot of theories out there. Like, obviously, we won't know. We might not even know with Rebirth. We might not know until the third part comes out, because I think they're definitely doing some stuff, but I think there's also a lot of misdirection in the trailers. I don't think anyone really has it figured out, but definitely, like, whichever way it goes, having just experiencing that side of the story, because whatever the context, Zack is obviously in Rebirth to some degree, whether it's like flashbacks, whether it's another time, like whatever, like he's in those trailers. I would be shocked if it's required, but I think it'll definitely like significantly enhance your enjoyment.
Well, what I'm saying is the ending of Remake will hit a lot harder if you play Crisis Core first, like a lot harder.
Yeah, because I beat it and I hadn't played Crisis Core, and I was like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah,
like because he says, like, in the original game he's there, but like, he's
also
not,
from Gungaga.
I'm sorry,
sorry, that's a dumbass name.
Do you have a stroke? What was that?
He's from Gungaga.
Okay, no, those are the syllables that you said. Okay, good.
What the fuck? I'm not playing this shit.
No.
No, seriously, dude, you can get through Crisis Core, bro. CJ, you can get through Crisis Core in like 15 hours. It's not a very long game.
Maybe we'll see, because I still gotta beat 7 Remake. Do I have to play Intermission?
No.
That's good, because I don't think I'm ever gonna finish Intermission.
Like,
be real.
No, because this guy right from the library only has like the base game. I'm not playing.
Yeah, having played Intermission, it's fun, but like if you know Final Fantasy VII lore, but you don't actually need to play.
And then by 2030, maybe I'll finally get around to playing the original 7 when this trilogy's
just not.
That's what I got. Jeff, do you want to go next? I mean, I don't know. Like, you guys know what I've been playing. I've just been flying.
Jeff.
That's it.
Hell yeah,
What's that?
brother.
He's been
As well?
flying.
It's been fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jeff,
Hell
are
yeah.
when are you gonna hop back into 14 with me?
Well, like the problem
Yeah,
with
planes.
14 is I'm eternally behind. Like I mostly play, like I play the story stuff, which isn't multiplayer, and there's kind of usually a brief window. Like it's gonna be a hot minute because what's going on with me in 14? I'm halfway through my Stormblood replay because I didn't do the side. I don't do the side quests on my first playthrough of stuff. So I'm replaying all of the campaigns and doing all the side quests along with it. But on top of that, I have 3 patches of Endwalker 6.3 through 6.5 to catch up on. And they've added the trust system to the Stormblood stuff now. So I can finally finish those story dungeons. This means nothing to anyone who's never played 14. Where I'm going with this, John, is honestly probably fall of this year. Like probably a few months after the expansion arrives, but like I will be knee deep in it because like for a while with Endwalker I was grinding, I was doing the roulettes and stuff. I inevitably taper off. It's not like a evergreen title for me. I come back to it every 6 months. But we'll play some this summer or this fall, whenever I'm wrapped up all the story stuff.
Okay, no, that's totally fair. Totally fair. Just as long as you're back this year, because I miss.
Well, I'm back. I'm back soon.
I miss my friends. Like I'd say the same thing to Brit too. I miss my friends, and
I'll probably resub probably 1 to 2 months before the expansion drops. I think we should get a release date at the Tokyo Fan Fest coming up.
I mean, it's yep, actually Saturday.
Okay, yeah.
And I expect them. So they have one more job that they're going to announce. I expect that it's Pictomancer, which is a reference to a Final Fantasy VI.
You can't just keep putting words before Mancer and call that a class. That's not.
Sure, you can. Why not? Why not? No, it's I think is so like Yoshi P. So for anybody who doesn't know, like Yoshi P. Every time there's an expansion, he wears a T-shirt on stage that throws you like fucking hints as to what the new job or jobs are. And he said there's 2 new jobs in this new expansion, and he came out on stage wearing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirt with Leonardo on it. And so Leonardo wears 2 swords, right? He uses 2 swords. The first job that got announced was Viper, which is a brand new Final Fantasy job, and it's a dual sword. It's a guy who wields 2 swords. So there's one more job that's being announced at a FanFest this weekend, and everybody seems to be of the opinion that since the turtles are named after famous artists, that it's going to be Pictomancer, which is Realm's job from Final Fantasy VI, in which she paints her enemies and then uses that to use their abilities. So that seems to be the prevailing theory, that it's going to be Pictomancer. I've had a green mage, I guess, because turtles are green, but I don't know what else. I honestly, I have no idea what else could
John's
be.
got like corkboard with the red string.
I do, absolutely. I think it's Pictomancer because Valagarmanda is the first major trial in Dawn Trail, and of course Valagarmanda is a major story point or a major story beat in Final Fantasy VI. That frozen Esper at the beginning, that's Valagarmanda. So I think it's Pictomancer, but that's just me. Jeff, you got anything else?
Only other thing I'll add. Well, I've been flying on the East Coast a lot because people like I play right after work, but like most people are online later in the evening. Anyways, East Coast weather is shit. I will say,
it's garbage, bud.
I am so tired of not being able to see the runway until I'm like 100 feet above the ground due to like rain and fog and just fucking like 80k wind gusts in like the Maritimes. God, it sucks. It sucks so bad. I'm also tired of winter because it's like dark at 4 p.m. everywhere. So I've put on like, like I don't mind flying at night, but like you can't see anything. Like it's way more interesting to fly in the daytime. So I'm looking forward to the spring and summer because it'll be more fun. But yeah, East Coast sucks.
Yeah, man.
That's all I got.
Brazil in summer.
What?
It's summer here. Just come to Rio.
This is East Coast hate. I don't like it. I live on the East Coast. What's wrong with the East Coast?
Everything.
Well,
continue.
Whatever, man. Whatever. CJ, go ahead.
I have been playing. You know what? Okay, so
nothing because you're a fake gamer.
Yeah, that too.
Exposed.
I'm so tired. Oh, let me show this off because I didn't have a chance to the show. This is the Nitro deck. This is the
Oh, you got the
greatest
white
accessory.
Nitro deck?
Yeah,
I bet that
it
looks
good,
slick.
man.
Christine got it for me for Christmas, so it matches my PS5, my Series S, and my Switch, my OLED dock, and my 8-bit controller. This is the greatest thing in the world. For those who don't know,
Yes.
it's a grip that you put your. I have my here's my Switch. See, wonderful. Slide that in here.
It's such a satisfying sound too.
Oh, it's so good. It is.
It feels like one solid unit.
Yeah, it does. So it's better than any of the other grips I've used. It's better than the fucking Joy-Cons, which are the worst controllers ever to
If you got big hands, the Joy-Cons are not great.
Useless, poopy controllers. I hate them. I've been just playing a lot of stuff. I have a Switch OLED. I played the first 2 hours Dragon Quest Monsters. Post patch. Yeah, this is oh my god, this is way better.
CJ, are you fucking back now that you're in some Dragon Quest spin-off territory?
Oh yeah. I mean, because there's really a rough one I played earlier this year. I'm saying back in September that Infinity Strash game wasn't great. This is back to what I wanted. Back to what I wanted, right? This is and for someone like me,
you love treasures so much. I mean,
I love treasures. I'm not a big Pokemon guy, and this is fun because it's Pokemon, but it is just the most basic RPG in the entire world. It's more about just here's a freaky little thing, go get it. You know
Dragon Quest has
the unicorn horn.
So little going on, and yet it's the fucking best. No other franchise can get away with doing so little. Dragon Quest just does it different. I don't.
That's what. And it's funny because 11 is the most basic RPG in the entire world. On paper, you look at 11 and you're
it kind of is.
It kind of is, but it's also the greatest RPG ever built. It's one of those things where it's
it's in the top 10, I think.
So this is what I wanted, right? Let me get that beautiful Toriyama art. Let me get a big open ended area. Let me get some freaky little dudes I can catch and fight for me. Beautiful. I love them. I love that every single Dragon Quest game I've played has always been, here's a monster. This monster is your best friend, and it's gonna go fight things for you. Because that's what Treasures was. Treasures was just, all right, here, go recruit these fucking gross little dudes, and they'll go hunt down things for you. I'm playing that. I've been playing a lot of Horizon Chase Turbo too. Do you guys ever play Horizon Chase Turbo?
No.
It's this cool little.
I've never even fucking heard of that.
It's this this indie racing game that's an homage to Outrun, right? They made a sequel. It's really fun. I've been putting a lot of time into that. Been putting a lot of time in the original Outrun too. On Switch. What else? I mean, look, you guys don't want to hear about me playing 2K. That's all I've been doing. I just broke the all-time scoring record for a Clipper. Fucking disgusting work. Putting in there. I could have been 6th man of the year if it wasn't for my scooter fall.
Oh my god. Christ.
What's that song you were singing, CJ?
The fucking rolling around at the speed of sound.
Fucking Sonic Adventure 2.
Because basketball season started when I got back from Virginia, and the first thing my friend told me after I told about the fall, he's like, "Damn, bro, the Heat needs you. What are you doing?" And I'm like, but other than that, no, it's been slow. Just because I'm I haven't been playing that much. But what is it? We're in the perfect part of the year where I'm just there's nothing I have to play. I'm just gonna go through my backlog finally. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna go eat the
I'm finally working through backlog shit. It's great.
Right.
CJ's also gonna be CJ, you're also gonna be working on a review here in the next couple days.
We can't fucking talk about
I don't want to
talk
about that. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that, but yeah. For a game. Review of a sandwich, I don't know.
CJ's gonna be reviewing the latest edition of the Tostitos pizza rolls. It's like a nacho flavor. I love them personally. They're fantastic.
Other than that, no, it's been quiet. I think because everything else I played pre being on this show. This is the first show I've been on in a while. I gotta say for Game of the Year stuff.
Yeah, CJ, thanks for fucking ignoring us.
You've been busy.
I've been very busy.
I don't buy that excuse.
You shouldn't either.
All right, so with 2023 in the rearview mirror, we've got a whole year ahead of us full of surprises,
Possibilities and hope.
both good and bad. I think. I think I'm so I think this is the part of the show where we start talking about what we're looking forward to in 2024 and where we think this new year is going to take us. And right off
let's maybe start because here's the thing. We could do guessing about 2024.
Do you want to start with the 2023
We
stuff
could
that
do
we
that
missed?
for the entire rest of the time. So like let's take a little bit of time briefly.
Okay, that's fine.
To talk about, because this is one me and CJ have like brought up a couple times. It's never made it to air, but it's this idea of like 2023 was one of the best years for games, in terms of like the sheer number of just really fucking good releases.
Like quality and quantity kind of match, right? It's it's been stuff like
dog shit for the people making them, but great in terms of like the quality of releases. So.
But it's like like not since like 2022 or 2017 or 2011 have people kind of been in like this weird consensus that like, oh yeah, like the overall majority of games are like good.
This was an all-timer fucking year.
Right.
And nobody had time to get around to everything that came out. It's actually a shame because like we're putting together our Game of the Year picks and there's so few compared to last year, right? There's so few of these little games on there. Just because the sheer number of really good big-ass fucking games. Like before you even get into the really good AA and like indie sphere. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the games we missed in 2023, the stuff that the stuff that we really like. I want to ask everybody, what is a game that that came out last year that you wish you had time to get around to, that you're going to try to make time for this year? Let's start with Jeff. Because here's the funny thing. We've joked about this, but like one of the games, at least one game on your Game of the Year is always going to be a game from a previous year, right? So
if not
like
most.
Yeah, if not most. And I love that, like never change. Mm-hmm. What's something that came out this year that you just wish you had time to get around to?
I'm going to do two because there's fair. Two that I really wanted to get to. And I was really, I guess one I was really looking forward to. One all right. So the one I didn't get to play, not really due to time, is City Skylines 2. I was super hyped for that game because that is like a Jeff-ass game. And not lack of time, just it sounds like it wasn't in great shape at launch. And I don't need to put myself through that. So I can't tell if it's one of these things that's just going to need a year or two's worth of patches, or if it's like Crysis and we're just going to need to wait for new hardware 10 years in the future that can actually run this thing. So that was like probably one of my most anticipated games. So it's too bad it turned out like that. The other one I wasn't super hyped for because like I'm not as high. Okay, so it's Tears of the Kingdom. I'm not as high on Breath of the Wild as everyone else. I don't like it doesn't keep me up at night the way Justin is haunted by it. I think it's a good game. I've got lots of little quibbles with it, but like, hey, it's the only Zelda game I've put more than 5 hours into. I finished it on the Wii U. I put in 60 hours. It's fine. It's fine, John. And then I replayed it earlier this year because I read so much about how Tears of the Kingdom kind of iterates on the map and does some cool things, recontextualizes the world. Like it just seemed like, because it had been so long since I played it and my memory's such shit, I wanted to like have a little bit of freshness going into Tears of the Kingdom to be like, oh, hey, that's cool what they did with this area, or this is cool how they tweaked this. Unfortunately, I ended up beating Breath of the Wild again and burned out hard too much to like the idea of just going to Tears of the Kingdom. I know it's different, but like going into that same map, generally speaking, was a little too daunting. And then I just got busy playing other stuff and it kind of fell by the wayside, but I own it. A nice member of our Discord gifted it to me, so it's on my Switch. It's ready to go. I'm gonna get around to it at some point, and I'm trying to. I got some reservations, but I'm trying to go in with an open mind. Just the one thing I know, because I know how I am with games. What's the like dark swampy shit? What's the like From Software part of the game?
There's an entire. I can't get into it, but there's a whole.
I know there's an underground.
Underground, yeah.
That I don't want to do that. I could tell you, I'm sure it's fine in the game, but like I do not want to do
There's
that.
a
and I can
little of
tell you,
that
I will
stuff you
not.
do have to do,
I
but
think
Yeah,
there's
and I
only
will
a
not
little
enjoy
bit
that.
you actually have to do. Yeah.
yeah, there's not
Yeah,
a lot that's
so-
required, but there's a little
Okay.
you'll have to do. I will
Okay.
say, look, I'm not a big Breath of the Wild fan, right? I am part of that like kind of controversial opinion that like Breath of the Wild may be an amazing game, but everything amazing about it is stuff that does not appeal to me as a longtime Zelda fan. But Tears of the Kingdom really managed to hook me much more than Breath of the Wild did. So it's still not my kind of Zelda game. And I do hope we see more of the kinds of like that Ocarina of Time up through like Skyward Sword era. But
Anuma did say that this is the last of the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom style
we'll
games.
fucking
So
see. But like even if you were not a big Breath of the Wild person, like I know a lot of people, and I'm one of them that didn't really dig Breath of the Wild, but had a much better time with Tears of the Kingdom. So
That's encouraging.
Gabe, what about you, bud? What's a game that you
what
missed?
did you miss in 2023, Gabe? Other than us, obviously.
Obviously. Well, a problem over the past few years, maybe the last 2 or 3 years. I've been burning out on games way quicker than I used to.
Yeah.
For instance, I've played Breath of the Wild. I've played Tears of the Kingdom. The game hooked me in a way that I was playing for hours and hours and hours on end. So, and then suddenly I was looking at the game. I think I was close to the end. Maybe I had 5 or 10 hours, and I would say, you know what?
Mhm.
I'm done.
Like, you know what? I consider Ganondorf defeated.
Yeah, I was like climbing. I think I was climbing Ganon's fortress castle. I don't remember. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Deleted the game.
But
And
you're
I've been
right
doing
there,
this.
Gabe.
What?
You're right there. Go get him.
Yeah.
I want to
Nah.
validate Gabe because
Yeah.
I used to feel pressure to finish games, and years ago
I mean,
I
I'm
just
kidding.
decided like I'm gonna play what I want, and it's the same thing. Like I would be super into a game, and I'd wake up one morning and be like, I don't want to play that, and I'd go play something else, and like just let it go. So I'm proud of you, Gabe, because like
Yeah.
you shouldn't have to.
Yeah, I always had that pressure to finish games because, man, I bought this thing. I better make make my investment worth it. But then I thought, you know what?
I mean, you also
had
put,
my
I mean,
time.
I would say that even if you didn't finish it, dude, you probably put like what, 60, 70 hours into that fucking thing?
40 maybe.
That's still, dude, that's your money's worth. Like 40
Yeah.
hours is a lot of game.
Yeah, same thing with Baldur's Gate. I played for about 50 or 60 hours. Got to Act 2, in middle of Act 2. I started to get pissed because I couldn't just, I couldn't get past some fights, and I was like, you know what? I had my fun. It was a great game.
Mm-hmm.
Next. So I missed a lot of games in 2023 that I wanted to play, but then I was like afraid that once I started to play them, I was just gonna get tired and missed, and
So it actually
go to the
sounds like
next
you
one.
had paralysis choice. Or
Maybe.
choice paralysis. That's sorry, I
Yeah,
got
this
the story
year's-
mixed up. But
So I think so, because I think I have 3 games that I'm gonna try and play it, and I hope I don't get burned out by them. Because the first one is Armored Core 6. Not
No.
very into mech games. Never played them, especially because I never really had a place. I know PlayStation 1 and 2 were really. No, there were a lot of games, especially Armored Core. There was, I think, Armored Front. Is that a game? Was that a game with this name? I know there was a lot of mech games.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the names. I know there were a lot of them. Because when I got a PlayStation 2, which was my first PlayStation console, piracy here in Brazil is big. It always has been. It really only stopped on the PlayStation 4 because people wanted to play online games. So I pirated a lot of games, and I always looked at those mech games. I never really had the wish to play them, but ever since I played the Souls games, I became a really big fan of From Software, and when I saw that there was a new Armored Core game and it's from Software, and I was like, I'm gonna play this game. I'm not really a fan of these kinds of games, but I'm not even looking at camera. I'm sorry. And I've been looking everywhere but here. So this is a game I want to play. I want to buy. I want to wait for a sale, and buy it because games have been more expensive than ever here in Brazil. So another game is the Talos Principle 2.
Yo.
Love the first
good
game.
choice.
Played the heck out of that game when I bought it, and puzzle games are the kind of games I need to be on the mood for them. I need to be in the right
I'm the same way,
mindset to,
dude.
yeah, have the patience because I'm gonna get frustrated, and I'm talking about, and I'm a guy who played about 75 hours of The Witness, approximately. Oh,
That game
love
pissed me
that
the
game.
fuck off so bad.
Yeah, it also pissed me. Oh, I remember that puzzle where you had to there was something about light and you have to look at a particular angle. There were a bunch of
There's
glasses
too much
of different.
of that shit in that game, dude.
Yeah, man. But I love that thing.
Oh, I loved it too, but it pissed me the fuck off, dude. Like that game makes you feel like a fucking moron.
And then once you pass a puzzle, you felt like the smartest man alive.
Yeah, and then you're like, I'm a dumbass for not realizing that sooner.
Bold of you to assume that I finished a puzzle.
So that's a game I want to play it eventually this year. And another game I want to play. I also want to play the other game. I think there were 4 games. Amnesia. I played the first and the second one. Love those games. And Amnesia: The Bunker. I mean,
the bunker. Yeah, that's the one set during World War One.
Yeah, I there was a slow day of work. I installed it on my laptop, played for about 15 minutes, and
dude, I purchased it on PS5, and I have not touched it yet.
World War One is like a cool ass setting for a horror game.
It really is, dude. Like, especially inside of World War One bunker, the entire game. Like, that's a cool fucking concept, dude.
Yeah.
Gabe, you got anything else that you're trying to get to?
Up the top of my head, I think those are it. Because, like I said, I still.
I will. Derek, if you don't mind, I'll go next.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead.
So like the one that stands out for me is Alan Wake 2. I just never got around to it.
You gotta.
My God.
I just never got around to it. I will play it eventually. The problem with 2023 is that it was such a good year for video. Like, obviously, it wasn't a good year for the people who make them, but it was such a good year for games that are completely John coded that like it was just like, I mean, dude. I mean, the Pixel remasters. Obviously, I'm going to play through those twice. 5 incredible Final Fantasy classic games, and
you got
Final
Octopath 2 was this year. Sea of Stars Traveler was this 2, year. Final Fantasy 16, like
Final Fantasy 16, Resident Evil 4 remake.
You were buried
Baldur's
in
Gate
games.
3. I mean, there were so many games that came out that I mean, and they were all long games. These weren't like 10-hour experiences, right? They were all long fucking games that admittedly some of them I replayed. Like I've already played 16 3 times now. I've played Resident Evil 4 twice. I played through all the Pixel remasters twice, except for 2, obviously, because who the fuck wants to play Final Fantasy 2? I played through Octopath Traveler, which is like a 110-hour monstrosity of a game. And I mean, there are other games that came out last year that I know I'm missing. But Alan Wake 2, I think, is the one for me that stands out the most because, anybody who knows me knows that my 2 favorite genres are JRPGs and horror. Right. Like I love horror games. And Souls games. Like 3. Like my 3 favorite genres are Souls games, RPGs.
Like, take it from me, someone who knows nothing about this genre. This feels like a Western Resident Evil.
Yeah, this is your shit, dude.
That's what I've heard.
If like narrative took focus over like, you know what I'm saying, like the sort of like the set piece like bits of Resident Evil, if like they were more fleshed out, this is basically that, right? Which is wild. Like this is so you, like everything you talk about, like horror games, like this is basically what you want out of it.
I'm absolutely gonna get to it. at some point in 2024. The problem is that already we're getting thrown. I mean, also like Super Mario RPG came out last year, Star Ocean 2 remake came out last year. Like there were so many games that came out last year that I literally like I had to pick and choose. What's that?
Said first couple months of this year are brutal too.
Yeah, dude, it's rough. It's fucking rough. Like, dude, think about this. In the next 2 months, we're getting a Persona 3 remake that looks incredible. We're getting Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. We're getting Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth.
A new Final Fantasy a year after
Yakuza.
We're getting Yakuza Infinite Wealth, which is apparently incredible. We're getting a Prince of Persia game, which apparently everybody reviewing it is loving it. We're getting what else are we getting? I'm missing something.
Final Fantasy 14 expansion probably in April.
Final Fantasy Dawn Trails coming. Like, I mean, dude, there's the first 3-4 months of this, and we still don't know what the fuck. Like, I'm sure there's going to be a Nintendo Direct at some point soon, and we don't know what's coming out in April. Like, it's just. So I will get to Alan Wake 2 eventually. I just don't fucking know when.
Yeah.
I just don't know when. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna. Yeah, Alan Wake 2. CJ.
Okay, so I'll separate this really quickly into 2 tiers. 2 games I haven't finished that I want to finish are Alan Wake 2. I feel really bad because I got distracted while playing it, and Super Mario RPG. I put more time into Mario RPG, so I still have enough of an opinion on it. So like that's what it is. As far as I missed a lot of stuff, right? Like, the big heavy hitters like Spider-Man 2 I didn't get around to. Baldur's Gate 3 I didn't get around to. Even though I have those games.
Came out last year too. God damn.
Yeah, so it's like a bunch of like the big stuff, right? Part of it was I didn't review as many games as I did last year, like the year prior, but I still play. I mean, like I reviewed Final Fantasy 16 and Jedi Survivor in the span of like 2 months, and that almost killed me. So I'm like, yeah, I kind of like, whatever. I don't need any more. And also this is the year I played nothing but like sports games. So every chance I would get to like play something like actually, enriching and like good for my console, I'm like, no, fuck it, we're gonna play the Crew Motorfest for another 60 hours. No, fuck it. The Los Angeles Clippers.
So much, CJ.
The Los Angeles Clippers need me. No, fuck it. I just got drafted by the fucking Washington Commanders. They clearly need my help.
It's not a real team.
It's not. It is a real team. So it's stuff like that, right? Where part of the no time is like on me. Like clearly, I'm tired and I just want to play like mindless stuff, right? Think about it. This year I barely put a dent in a Call of Duty game. Right? Like it's like, wow, like a brand new.
That's a cry for help if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, like no one reached out. No one reached out and was like, CJ, you noticed you didn't put any time into Modern Warfare 3. You good, brother? So it's like that, right? Like, so the stuff that I do want to get to eventually, the stuff that I feel bad. Star Ocean 2, for sure. I really want to play. I have it. I'm really excited to see what it looks like on an OLED screen. Really looking forward to that. Obviously, like I said, Dragon Quest Monsters. I'm looking forward to like putting a serious dent into it, like starting this year. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I didn't get to play Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, which I feel really bad for.
Yeah,
especially
why would you
especially
do that?
especially on like the cusp of like a new Jet Set Radio coming out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh my god, I feel bad. I didn't get this one. Oh, World of Horror. I have. I'm really looking forward to. So it's like stuff like that. I'm trying to think of this. Oh no, and like one in the genre I love. I barely put a dent in the fucking Forza Motorsport, which I fucking paid extra to get early on Game Pass.
I have to know, CJ, do you own the game, or do you just do the thing where you like bought the edition for a game you don't own?
Bro, I bought the fucking DLC for a game I don't own.
They got you,
dude. $40.
They got you in the trenches, my man.
Dude, listen. And I only put like 2 hours in this game, and I'm like, all right, I have other things to do. You know what I did? Instead of playing that, play 2K. I played 2K.
Never
it's like,
change,
I-
dude.
Well
No.
spent.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I have like my backlog is stupid. Like it's ridiculous, and it's gonna get worse because like this year it's like, you know, we're like John said, we're pretty packed. Even if I decided to like not review anything, I would. There's still like the off chance. Look, we got that new we have a new Mario vs Donkey Kong and that Princess Peach game coming out like back to back, right?
Yeah.
Like my Switch is gonna get a workout for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. It's a wild for 6 months.
But like as far as like the stuff that I'm confident I'll get to, it's for sure gonna be like Star Ocean 2. That's the one I feel the worst. Like that and Dragon Quest are the two I really feel bad about not getting to.
Yeah.
Derek.
I guess this is me. Yeah.
Derek, it's you.
I got 2 games that I really fully intended on getting to in 2023. Both of them are smaller games. I got to pretty much all the big ones I wanted to. And then I was a bad hipster. I missed a lot of indies. I'm ashamed of my words and deeds. I missed out.
I can't believe you didn't play Silk Song. It released a few months ago.
Right. I'm not a big Hollow Knight person. For being like a complete whore for Metroidvanias, I didn't click with Hollow Knight. I know I'm the only one. I think you are the only one. Probably. One of them that I missed out on that I need to get to and I fully plan on getting to is Aliens Dark Descent. Aliens Dark Descent is like kind of an XCOM like, right? Where it's like an isometric strategy. Yes. That's that like top down like isometric like strategy game.
That does sound cool.
Set in the Aliens universe, and like everyone I know who's played it loves it. And I'm such a huge fan of those first couple Alien movies. I think they are like masterpiece, and I'm going to include Alien 3 in that, right? Like I think the assembly cut of Alien 3 is a great movie, but these are like, I think that doing like a squad based like tactics game with horror elements is probably one of the best things you could do with that IP. Other than Alien Isolation. But since Alien Isolation's already made, you've already done the best possible version of an Alien game. Like, let's do the best possible version of an Aliens game, right? So I've got to get to that.
Like the co-op game, Derek, that came out a couple
No,
years ago?
I just don't play like online, and you know, it's just not me.
Yeah.
Good game though. Like if you get
I've heard it's good.
Like,
is it Fireteam Elite or something?
It's a decent like Left 4 Dead clone.
Yeah.
And like a sea of really bad ones is probably like one of the best ones.
Yeah. I just like am allergic to playing multiplayer video games. Unless it's like people on a couch, right, with controllers and long cables going across the floor. We should bring back wired controllers. I think if we did that, that would fix a lot of problems. The other one that I missed out on is Goodbye Volcano High.
I've heard good things about this.
Damn,
I've heard
too.
only good things about Goodbye Volcano High. It's one I had my sights on as soon as it was revealed. I went through
that PS5. It was revealed during like the big PS5 like reveal, right?
I went through that crushing like disappointment when I found out that Kate Gray was on the team. The fucking the writer who posted the like simulated Emma Watson child porn gifs to Kotaku.
Yeah, that was a whole thing.
I'm sorry, I'm never gonna let Kate Gray get away with that, and I'm deeply frustrated to say that like way too many people are still fucking cool with Kate Gray, and there is no excuse for posting simulated pornography of underage Emma Watson. Right,
which
to
is
like the front page of a major news outlet. Like that shouldn't have been covered up the way it was. That was disgusting.
The article is still up.
The article's still up. They got rid of and like here's the thing: the article's like fine on its own right. Like you want to talk about like, you know, porn, like Rule 34, like fine. I don't give a shit. I'm not anti-porn. I'm a pervert. But like when you post gifs of like simulated Emma Watson, like when she was a teenager, it's very like you should go to a prison cell.
Dude, Kate Gray sucks.
Yeah, I'm never gonna be okay with that shit. But anyway, they got rid of her, and I feel so much better about that. And now Goodbye Volcano High is out. Everyone's had such good things to say. I love these little queer, like teeny bop, like dealing with the big, strong emotions of being a teenager, because you know what? I am somebody who feels all of these really big earnest emotions and doesn't think that shit's cringe. Like that's life. Like you're meant to feel the big feelings and you're meant to like have these like soaring romantic feelings and to like want to cry in your room because you had a bad day. Like, and anything that can tap into that kind of like soaring emotionality of being a teenager and do it right, like Life is Strange did.
Yep.
I think there's a magic to that. So yeah, I need to do that too, but it's on my to-do list. It ain't fucking happening in the first quarter of this year.
No, it's
because there's
fucking
too
not,
many
dude.
games. Oh, but now with that out of the
So-
way, let's talk about 2024. Because we
Yeah.
know a lot of what's coming out, but there's a surprising amount of this year that's still empty, right? There's a lot of stuff we don't know when it's coming, right? There could potentially be new hardware on the horizon. Like, what are people kind of hoping and expecting out of this year?
Let's face it, dude. The Switch successor's coming out this year. Like everybody
Yeah.
knows it.
Hope not. Can't afford that shit.
It absolutely fucking is.
Start putting $400 aside now.
$400. It's not going to reinvent the wheel with the Switch. It's going to keep that form factor. It's going to keep that. This is my prediction. It's going to keep that basic Switch form factor. It'll be more powerful. It'll be backwards
It's a Switch
compatible.
2, dude. Like it's going to be
Yeah.
Switch 2.
Yes.
Yeah, Switch. No. Switch. It's going to be the Switch.
No, don't.
Stupid.
The Nintendo Switch.
And it's in a Joy-Cons. It's the fucking like Wii remote and nunchuck. Like, and you have to use the shit. That's
Oh
it.
my god! And it just attaches to the side.
Oh my.
But it's going to be like if they don't call it the Super Nintendo Switch, something somewhere got really fucked up. Because that's clearly what it should be. That or the Switch Advance, but Super Nintendo Switch is a perfect name. But yeah, come on, guys, let's face it. And it'll launch with a 3D Mario and probably Metroid 4 or Metroid Prime 4. Like one of the other or both. That's what I think. When do you guys think it'll come out?
I mean, it's going to be later. It's going to be like fall, right? I
it'll
think
be fall?
the fact that we still haven't seen a review, and I think a reveal is coming soon, right? I think that I would not be surprised if like a big February Direct revealed this thing for release in fall. But
So
the longer we
let's-
wait to see this,
Yeah.
the later it's coming out.
I'm going to push back a little bit.
Okay.
I'm going to push back a little bit. I think it gets revealed in the summer and releases in, September, October. Because the period, because Nintendo, the period of time between the reveal of the Switch back when it was the NX and the release was like 3 months.
No, we went through this on the podcast before. It
way
was
more.
October and then
October.
Yeah.
March.
October to March, 6 months.
March. Yeah.
So then
I could have sworn
It was revealed, and they didn't do the first
October.
Direct that was like,
like
here's
January.
more than a reveal until January. So there's only a couple months
maybe that was
between
it.
the initial Direct where they first gave all the details. But it was revealed, like 6 months before.
Well, I
So.
guess I'm finally fucking wrong.
Yeah,
About
for
something.
once.
Okay.
The gall you have
guys
to
got
say
me.
that.
You guys got me. I'm wrong about something. Good job. It was bound to happen sooner or
Fuck
later.
you, John. God
What-
damn it. Fuck.
CJ is
Oh,
so
God.
offended right now. What else we got for this year? Like consoles aside, like let's talk games.
Are we
What do we
Are we saying like what we're excited for? Or are we like guessing stuff that
Predicting.
hasn't been announced?
Predicting. Well, let's talk about
Okay.
what hasn't been announced, what we think is coming.
Let me get in on the
Um,
Capcom game real quick.
Okay. All right.
All
This is
right.
okay.
So here's the deal. We know
Legends
a
3,
decent amount.
baby.
We know a decent amount about Capcom's year, right? We know we got Dragon's Dogma 2 coming in March. We know that Street Fighter's going to keep getting content updates coming out. We know we've got that Apollo Justice trilogy coming in a couple weeks, right? We know that we're not getting Monster Hunter this year. That's a big one, right? That's not until 2025. Breaking my fucking heart. I'll tell you what you are getting this year, and I would almost put money down if I had money to put down. I'm betting you
Parlay money is-
hardcore Mega Man. Mega Man is this year.
Yeah.
You are seeing that new. You are seeing a new Mega Man game this year.
Okay,
Like a
Derek.
2D one or a 3D one?
I have
what is
no
it?
fucking clue what it is,
Okay,
but that
Derek.
franchise has been silent for a while. They've said that they want to keep working on the franchise. They know that there's potential there. That rumored like Mega Man Tyson, whatever that's going to be, like I think it's time for Mega Man.
What is he fighting Mike Tyson or some shit? What happened?
Taisen, not
okay.
not Tyson like Mike Tyson.
No, okay, Derek.
Yeah.
Are we talking Mega Man 12 or Mega Man X10?
Mega Man, either a brand new subseries or a spin-off of classic Mega Man.
You don't so like Mega
I
Man
don't
12
think
maybe,
it's
you
Mega
think?
Man 12. I don't think it's like Battle Network 7 or something.
Are you sure, dude? Because apparently the Battle Network collection sold way fucking better than they
but the
expected.
thing is that the Battle Network collection like came out too recently for them to pivot, right? Like nobody knew the Battle Network collection was going to sell like that. So there's no way they could be like, wow, that sold a lot. Let's get a new game out next year. You know, games have too long of dev cycles these days. Yes, Josh, I did in fact shave. I now look like I'm not legally allowed to buy alcohol, even though I'm in my 30s.
Get this child off our podcast.
All right.
Look at this fucking kid. Why is my son here suddenly? Okay,
But yeah,
all right.
so I think I would bet new subseries. But if it's not a brand new subseries, I could see it being a Mega Man like classic spin-off. So, but we're getting
okay, all
something big Mega Man this year.
Mega
later
Man
in the
11
year.
too.
Okay,
Mega Man 11
okay, Derek. I'm gonna throw a Capcom prediction at you, Derek.
Okay.
Two can play this Capcom game.
Well, we'll see
right
because
here.
I'm the Capcom expert. So
And you already know. As soon as I say it, you're gonna know where I'm going with this.
mhm.
There's been a lot of RPG collections recently.
You are not fucking getting Breath of Fire, dude. It's not happening.
So hear me out.
You might
There's
get Power
there's now-
Stone. You might get Power
There's a
Stone
Final
re-releases.
Fantasy- There's a Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster collection. There's a Suikoden Remaster collection.
Still going.
Battle Network got a
Bro.
collection. I think it's time for a Breath of Fire 3 and 4.
John, they
Collection
drug
pack.
test you at your job. You
I'm just
can't.
saying.
you
I've-
can't.
one,
you
I haven't
can't
been
be
drug tested
doing
in
this.
years.
Outlandish and flagrant stuff like that. I don't even know
Two,
anything about Breath of Fire. I know that it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's not
It's
gonna
fucking
happen.
time. Dude, if the no. Here's the thing. If another code can get a remake, I know it's not a Capcom game, but if another code can get a fucking HD remake, so can Breath of Fire.
No, it
Breath
can't.
of Fire 3 can get a fucking re-release.
No, it can't.
Okay? Like it's time. But Derek, to your point, I also think we know Power Stone's gonna happen.
I could
due
see
to the
Power
leak.
Stone re-releases, right? Like the thing about re-releases is that it's like a complete wild card. There's no way to fucking know what kind of games could get just re-released.
The
Right?
most random bullshit gets like re-released, right? Like we would never expect.
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah, I mean, so that's possible. But in terms of like a new game release from Capcom, I think the only thing, and I do think this is realistic, is Mega Man. So
Oh, that's a great suggestion to chat. A Quintet Pixel Remaster collection. Like it will never happen, obviously, but if you don't know what he's talking about, he's Illusion of Gaia, Terranigma, Landstalker. No, I'm sorry, Actraiser and not Landstalker. Actraiser, Illusion of Gaia, Terranigma, and there was one other.
Soul Blazer?
I can't remember. Soul Blazer, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, like even just a Terranigma an actual US release, because that motherfucker never got released here. But yeah, I mean it'll never happen, obviously. But who else has got? All right, let's get some more predictions from Gabe. What do you think is going to come out next year or this year?
Not next year.
Yeah, it's the current
man.
year. What's coming out in the current year, Gabe?
Oh man, seriously, I don't even think about it actually. I never even thought about it. What could come or in 2024 because, man, predictions. I got wishful thinkings, but
I'll
predictions.
take
No.
wishful thinking.
Dude, wishful thinking is, fucking let's have it. Give
we
us
all
one.
need it.
Dude, the only thing I want, and I don't care how long it takes. The only thing I want is a Bloodborne remake. That's all. Is that too much to ask for?
Like a 60 frames per second patch at this point.
Or even
like,
a 60 frames. Yeah, right.
like
No, no,
that's because like Bloodborne, I think is like flawless the way it is. You know, like all it needs
It
is
just runs
that
like
patch.
dog shit even on a PS5. It's wild.
Yeah, and I don't.
That
This
game
is one.
defies all logic. It's like fighting against the PS5's backwards compatibility plus.
Yeah,
It's like
it's like no.
It is-
I
won't do it.
will
It's
run like
like
shit.
No matter
it's like
what harder
it's
you
like
throw at it.
it's like Miyazaki. It's like Miyazaki's spirit is forcing it to run at a very cinematic 24
Sekiro
frames
runs,
per second on PS5.
Sekiro runs great. Dark Souls 3 runs great. The Dark Souls remaster runs great. Bloodborne's the only one that's no, fuck you. You're not getting these 60 frames.
Elden Ring, a massive open world game, is able to hit 60. And
That's good.
Bloodborne can't do it. Like, come on. Gabe, I feel you, buddy. I can't, dude, if they announced a patch for 60 frames per second Bloodborne tomorrow, I would literally drop everything I'm currently fucking playing and hop on that shit immediately. There's no question.
Oh man, yeah, absolutely. Actually, there is a way to play it in 60 frames per second, but you have to mod your console.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
console.
you
I
gotta
don't
like
remember.
mod the shit out of your PS5,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Makes me you wonder what the hell are they waiting for? Come on, just do it. Just.
I don't fucking get it, dude. Jeff,
But-
Speaking of what are they waiting
Yeah.
for, I'll go next.
yeah, let's hear it, Jeff.
This
let's
is
get
wishful
some,
thinking. I don't know if it's wishful
okay,
thinking. Maybe
that's
it's
fine.
realistic too. I'm the only person who's excited for this because I know the legacy this game has. But I am tired of waiting for Nintendo to put Donkey Kong 64 on Switch Online. I don't know what's taken so fucking long.
I
we already
need
have
Warlord
GoldenEye.
Donkey Kong. on
Oh, it's a
Switch.
shame
Um,
Rar's in the chat.
I shout out to my boy Rar.
Hold up, it's
Only
Thursday.
the great ones
Let's check.
recognize.
Let's check Nintendo's Twitter page to see what bullshit they do.
Yeah.
I have no affinity for the Donkey Kong franchise other than like I played Tropical Freeze and I loved it. And I don't like 2D platformers. Most people know I don't care about 2D Mario. Tropical Freeze is a amazing game. But I also like I love janky ass PS1 N64 era platformers. I do not know
Boy, do
why.
I have good fucking news for you.
I do not know why. I acknowledge the horrible cameras, the clunky, awkward controls, all of it, but like they're just a vibe and I love it. I played a lot of the Banjo-Kazooie Xbox Live remaster on my Xbox One. It looks great at 4K auto HDR. But I love those era of Rare games. I like their first-person shooters, Perfect Dark and GoldenEye. And I love Banjo-Kazooie. And like, it sounds like Donkey Kong 64 is like Banjo-Kazooie, but Donkey Kong. And arguably, it could go either way, worse or better. I don't care.
It's
I'm
the
gonna-
most of those kind of games, for better
exactly.
or worse.
With the most
It
collectibles,
kills
the
that
most
kind of game.
like just neuron activation or like infuriating.
Five
like,
different, completely different playable characters. Like,
but I know I'm gonna like that game, and I truly don't understand why it's taken so long. So let's get on with it and make 2024 the year.
Damn. Jeff, just for that impassioned argument alone, I seriously hope it happens. Like
they're running
I
out of
really-
games. They're running out of games
Yeah,
to
I
add to
know.
that service, man.
So, like, let's
eventually
go.
they gotta.
So,
Speaking
so
of
hold
man,
that for-
Excitebike fucking
here's
rules.
another one.
On this.
I'm predicting this year on NSO Diddy Kong Racing.
Fuck yeah.
Another
what's up?
great game, as we know when we played it at our charity stream.
Yep.
With nothing unlocked in it, you know.
Timeless. Timeless is I think how
Great
everyone would
game.
describe it.
Great.
Diddy
game.
Kong Racing is a legit fucking treasure. Let's bring that shit.
Let's go Battle Tanks 2 on.
What did we discover? Was it that in multiplayer they kill the music in the game? Something was
No.
wrong when we were playing it.
Well,
Yeah,
there's a lot
I think
wrong
the
with
music
it.
was off. I think they killed the music in the multiplayer mode.
We also had to like unlock everything from the beginning. We didn't have any of the
So we
courses
were
as well.
playing with like the bare bones like options in dead
You were-
silence
you were
with no
having a
music.
ton of
Only
great
like
time.
3
Jeff
tracks
was-
unlocked.
Jeff looked
That
like a
was
child,
really-
like a child, like you know, like having like the best time ever. And I'm like, fuck, can we go back and play Double Dash? Because I'm good
Okay.
at that game.
I got a question
wait.
for the group. I got a
Oh,
question
God.
for the group. Is 2024 the year of Silk Song? Is it coming out?
No.
They can't
No,
do it now.
absolutely not.
It'd be funny if they did. If they just never released it, that'd be really funny.
I'm starting to wonder, man. Like,
This is Skull and Bones for indie like fans.
I saw somebody in chat ask if Beyond Good and Evil 2 is coming out this year. That game's never fucking coming out.
Bro.
You could just forget that
The
one.
game's not real. No work has been done on Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Okay. I have got a prediction. I think we'll see it announced this year, but I don't think we'll see it until next year. That is the Final Fantasy IX remake.
That was on my list. I think I agree. I think it's time for it to be announced. They'll probably wait a little bit after like 7 Rebirth and maybe the 14 expansion, but like Square's got enough going on, like those can coexist. I don't think they're worried about like stealing the spotlight from one.
Right, like 7 and 16 can coexist like just fine. Here's some. All right, we'll rattle off. We're gonna get that Donkey Kong, that 3D Donkey Kong.
Yo, from Nintendo EPD, absolutely
we're gonna get it. I don't know if it's gonna launch with the new console or if it's gonna be like a current Switch game. You know what I'm saying?
Will it be as good as Donkey Kong 64?
No.
I never played 64, but I love Mario Odyssey.
So CJ, if it comes out before if the next Switch is backwards compatible, like it apparently
it'll
probably will be, then
here's some bullshit that Nintendo will pull. They're gonna release a console variant for it 2 months before the Switch 2's out.
Oh yes,
and
absolutely.
They gotta get rid of that stock, man. Slap a custom skin on it.
A yellow Switch OLED. You know what I'm saying? With the Joy-Cons.
No, it's got to be the transparent green, like the old N64.
Oh my god, yes.
Either that, or you got to get those yellow banana color Joy-Cons.
That's what I'm saying. Each of the Joy-Cons have a little.
No,
like,
CJ, on a brown Switch with a red tie painted on the back.
You're just gonna get one yellow and one brown Joy-Con, and that's what you're gonna have to deal with.
Probably
the laziest thing in the world. No,
so you basically get doo-doo and this color Joy-Con.
It's gonna be a gray Switch with the DK logo in like white on like one of the Joy-Cons.
It'll be something really stupid.
Here's what I was thinking of. Since Sega's working on a bunch of new stuff, I think they're gonna re-release the Dreamcast era Sonic games in some capacity. They'll do like a
that's good.
See that.
So whether it's like a remaster, like whether it's a remake of like what Adventure 1 through Heroes, or just a simple like up-res like the 360 ports. I think they're gonna do, because like what Sonic's kind of like we all know it's gonna take a backseat at this point, right? Frontiers feels like a good stopping point. They stopped supporting it. It's like done. It was like a huge success. Superstars is like the last big hoorah for like a modern 2D Sonic game. They've released the Origins collection twice. So what's next for like as far as remasters or re-releases? Either they'll do the three Dreamcast era games, or they'll do a general Dreamcast collection. Maybe re-release the 360 like Dreamcast like collection they had with Crazy Taxi, Bass Fishing Pro, whatever it was called. What's the rhythm game, like the Space Channel 5?
Oh god,
they'll put that one.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, dude.
Because like they're gonna want people. They're gonna want to drum up interest, right? Maybe they'll do like the Sega Ages normal, like, oh, we're just gonna re-release a bunch of like cheap Dreamcast ports, like they did with Virtual Racing or something. I mean, at least I would like that to. I want Sega to have like another like, let's just keep throwing a bunch of stuff until like these new games, right? Because like before, go.
Well, I was just gonna say. So I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought you were done. Sorry.
Go. What are you saying?
Are you sure?
Yeah. Go.
Well, I was just gonna say, like on the topic of Sega Dreamcast games, like I think this is the year we see that long rumored Skies of Arcadia remaster.
Maybe. I feel like that's too big of a game, unless it's just gonna be a simple like.
It's gonna be a port. Like, yeah, it's not gonna be like a remake. It'll be a remaster for sure.
Like, maybe, yeah, that'd be cool. Like the Shenmue port, like the most bare bones thing, unless they.
It's gonna be bare bones as shit, but it's Skies of Arcadia, so people have been asking for it for years, so we'll eat it up.
On the Dreamcast tangent, do we like what's the next Resident Evil? Is it 5 or Code Veronica remake?
Code Veronica.
5 with white South Africans as the villains.
Yeah, I was gonna say Code Veronica's probably next, but like we're not seeing it this year.
No.
And I think it's because like 5 is gonna need some time, because that's a game that so desperately needs to be rethought in a lot of ways. It's so close to being great, but there's a couple fucking things that you do gotta work on.
I actually don't know, Derek.
Like the fucking Unga Bunga fucking swamp people. Like, hey man, you can't do that shit. Like,
can't talk like that, white baby.
I think we. Oh, yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, you can't, dude.
I think we could see a Code Veronica remake this year because. No, hold on. Because Capcom needs a big release other than Dragon's Dogma 2 this year, and the Resident Evil 3 remake came out the year after the Resident Evil 2 remake did.
But that was like a 3.5 hour like
It was, and
Yeah.
Code Veronica is not a very long game. And
It's
I
worth
don't
remembering
think
that
this is gonna-
3 had been in development since well before 2 came out.
But we also don't know how long they've been working on another Resident Evil remake.
So here's the problem, right? Is if you look at the development history of the recent Resident Evil games, again, not to get like too inside baseball here, the only reason you got 3 so close to 2 is because 2 and 3 were planned as a single thing originally. It was going to be 2 and 3 together, and the decision was made to split them up, which was better for 2 because 2 got to get expanded. But a lot of the work that the third-party company, was it M2 or whatever, that Capcom partnered with for 3 did not come through, which is why once they were done with 2, they had to swoop in and salvage 3. And since then, they've been on a real tight leash with Resident Evil. So we're not getting... I mean, I don't think we're getting Code Veronica this year, man. I really don't. I think Dragon's Dogma is the
all
big
this shit,
game.
dude. Fuck Resident Evil, Dino Crisis, goddammit.
Yeah, I was
not
gonna
getting
say,
Dino
shout out
Crisis.
to Delaby in chat. I said years ago, like before everyone made fun of the horrible third Jurassic World movie, but like right around the time the first one came out, I was like, dinosaurs are like big. Like that movie made $1 billion. Like I said this back in like 2016. Like the time
Free
is now
Jaw
for a
Muncher
Dino
from
Crisis
his
remake.
pain, guys. Like
I
for
think
real
they
though,
should.
like
They're not gonna,
Here-
but they should.
Here's the question: what's the funniest fucking like franchise comeback that would that could possibly happen?
Oh, Booger Man.
Leisure
Oh.
Suit Larry.
Okay, Booger Man, Leisure Suit, woke Leisure Suit Larry. Oh my god. Oh
Dude,
my god.
are you are you ready
Leisure
for
Suit Larry.
feminist Duke Nukem? Are we ready for
Yeah,
woke
Leisure-
Duke Nukem?
we
Let's
call it
fucking go.
Leisure Suit Larry. Leisure Suit Larry canceled.
What? Oh yeah!
Like,
Oh my
that's-
god! He's like in. Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna say the Croc remake, but those are way better. Those are way
Fucking
better.
Blasto. Bring Blasto
Fucking
back.
a new
Duke
I got it, a
Nukem shows
new-
up on the screen and is like, "Trans women are women too."
a new Jack and Daxter game from Naughty Dog, but with the tone of The Last of Us 2.
I would kill myself. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. That's not funny. Jeff, take that back.
No,
It's
come on.
fucking
man.
funny.
That's
no,
terrible.
it's
Neil Druckmann's Zionist Jack and Daxter game would like be the end of it for me. I will never
No,
play video
what
games
we
again.
need, what we need is a remaster of Street Fighter the movie, the game.
No, we don't.
Yes.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The
There's
Super
one
Mario
bad
Bros.
Street
movie,
Fighter
the
game.
game.
and that's it.
Huh.
We don't know.
The Super Mario Brothers movie, the game.
No,
With like
So-
the compressed the most bullshit compressed sequences from the movie on Switch, so it's all like a 240p right before you play like the worst
So-
3D platformer in the world.
I'm going to throw two proposals to you guys. You tell me which one you think is more likely, because I think they're both going to happen eventually. I just don't think they're both going to happen in the same year. They're both Square related. And they both release this, like either one will release this year. Either Final Fantasy Tactics Remastered, which we know was on the NVIDIA leak, and it feels like it's time, or an actual sequel to Nier Automata.
I don't think the Automata sequel's happening.
No, John, because we've heard about Yoko Taro, so he wouldn't be available for Nier.
Right.
So
He's too far
yeah.
here.
Shut
So do we think that it's that Final Fantasy Tactics remaster, whatever it is? Do we think that's possible for this year? We
I think
know
it
it's
is
there.
because
you're
it's
not
different.
getting you're not getting that and 9 remake if you're getting
No, I
ongoing.
think
9
Tactics
Remake
comes
is
out
next
before
year,
9.
for sure.
I think Tactics
What's
comes out
that?
before 9.
You think Tactics comes out before 9?
Could be a great late year game, right? Because it's
I
also
think so
yeah.
too.
it's a good palate cleanser, and it's a shift up in genre for the franchise before we hit that 9 remake. So
I agree. I like kind of release it around the same time they did Star Ocean 2.
Is it
Yeah,
the
it's like a late
PSP
fall.
game or the GBA game that's getting remade?
well, the PS1 /
That's what I'm
PSP
saying.
game, yeah. It's the original for sure, because the original's a
You don't,
fucking
you don't want the
masterpiece.
kids playing snowball fights. You know.
I want to throw another one out for you guys, and Derek especially will be his ears will perk up on this. The Evil Within 3.
It's too soon. It's too
Yeah,
soon.
Tango.
Did Evil Within 2
I think
came
it could
out a
get
while ago.
yes, but Johan fucking whatever the guy's name is that did Evil Within 2.
Shinji
his
Mikami?
team not Shinji Mikami. Mikami
I
was
thought Shinji Mikami did it.
only very lightly involved with the Evil Within 2. It was primarily the work of hang on, I will look up his name. John Johannes. Shinji Mikami was basically not even involved in the Evil Within 2.
Interesting. Okay.
John
I mean,
Johannes-
fantastic fucking game.
Yes, and I think it is to this day, the Evil Within 2 is one of the best horror games ever made.
would
It is
agree.
a rare example of extremely good writing in a video game that I don't have to put like an asterisk on and say it's good
Right.
writing for video games. No,
Yes.
Eric,
that
it's
is
fucking
just
evil
well written.
out there.
Shut the fuck up, John.
That may be true, Derek.
But there's evil within too. Right. But John Johannes and his team, they did Hi-Fi Rush. So it's possible we see an announcement this year, but it for sure isn't coming out this year.
Somebody throw another prediction at me. I've
Well,
got.
we're a little over time, John.
We got another couple minutes because we
Yeah,
started a little
we can-
late.
We can go another couple.
All right,
minutes.
all
We can
right.
go another-
We started a little late. So
Ooh. Okay.
We did
okay.
start late.
What?
I got a
okay,
spicy
so
one for you. Are you ready for this?
If we get a Switch, hold it, because I have a good question. This is a good question. If we get a Switch 2 this year, is Mario Kart 8 getting ported, or are we getting a brand new like
None.
from the ground up?
No,
Imported.
it's not.
Neither.
Yeah, no.
No, it's time for Mario Kart 9, and it's going to be more like a Nintendo Kart.
It'll be
So-
backwards compatible, so you can play your Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on it, but Mario Kart 9 is not this year.
Mario Kart, it's 10 because Tour is 9. Mario Kart 10.
I'm not saying this
Or-
year. I'm saying, does it get shown off? Is there any indication that we're getting a new Mario Kart game?
An
What's gonna happen
announcement's
with this-
definitely possible because all the updates are done on 8.
Right. Yes.
Which I feel
You already
like
got- it came
all of
out,
this
so we're
recent
fine.
round of updates was done to extend its life because they needed more time. So I
Can
could
you
see
imagine the
it.
fucking press a Mario Kart 9 or 10 reveal would generate?
Oh, you just
like,
give
sales?
them
like.
money now. I got a spicy
Guys,
one for you. Are you
all right,
ready for
let's
this?
hear the spicy
Go,
one.
go.
Yeah, I want the spicy.
No Pokemon this year.
Yes.
That is
Good
a
possible.
that is
would be in
I
there.
can't resist.
that is
They
such
can't
a
resist. Doesn't matter
long
how
shot.
bad it runs.
That is such a long shot ass. But here's the thing. I don't think that they will have something meaningfully ready to show off the Switch 2 for Pokemon yet.
I mean,
I think Pokemon is
problem is they need
early.
more
wasn't
time to make
meaningfully
it
ready to be
run.
released, but they did it anyway.
I
They
think
need
that's
more
true.
time to make it run as terrible as they should
Right.
on Switch 2.
I think
We're
Pokemon.
solid 30 frames. Get this thing down.
I think Pokemon drops spring 25. I think we're gonna
Okay.
break. I don't think it's gonna make the
Oh,
holiday
man,
release window.
Like
That
you're
is-
talking like not even like one of the remakes of the older gen
No,
games. Like not
because here's the thing:
no
if this is
Pokemon.
coming, if the Switch is coming out in fall, they're gonna have a lot of games ready for it, but Pokemon's not gonna fucking be one of
The
them.
Pokken Tournament 2 will be a launch game. That's the killer app. That's
Yeah.
the killer app. Pokemon Channel 2.
That's a
will be the
long
co-
shot. I recognize because we technically did not get a new Pokemon in 2023 either, right? We got,
It's got
like
DLC, right?
multiple DLCs for Scarlet and Violet, but yeah, I'm just reading tea leaves here, but I don't think we get a Pokemon this year. I really don't.
Last one for you guys. In all seriousness, is this Metroid Prime 4 year?
No.
Yes,
Oh, ooh.
Yes.
Well,
it's time. The only reason we haven't seen it is because it's going to be a game that it's going to
It'll
be
be a Switch 2
cross generation.
launch
It's
game.
not a Switch 2 exclusive. I think this is going to be Switch and Switch 2,
let's.
but it is a showcase for the Switch 2, and that's why they've been
So,
holding it off.
I'll answer this. What's the first like 2 or 3 months of the Switch 2 if it comes out this year? What's coming out for it?
3D Donkey
For
Kong,
sure.
3D Donkey
Okay.
Kong, the one
Right.
we've been hearing about from the Mario crew, from the Mario Odyssey crew, Prime 4.
You don't think it's going to launch with the 3D Mario?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's-
No,
Not
It was
not
time.
and a
Because
3D
Odyssey
Donkey
was
Kong. It's one or the
2017, it's
other.
time.
I think it's Donkey Kong, bud. They just it's that's the thing is we'd heard that it's the 3D Mario team has been working on Donkey Kong. That's what we keep hearing. So like you can't get both. They got to get Donkey Kong out.
And look, we're getting a Mario versus Donkey. If we're gonna put our
we just got Mario Wonder, right?
So like Mario versus Donkey Kong this year. They're gonna drum up interest in Donkey Kong. All right.
Yeah.
They're doing it.
Donkey Kong Origins.
Donkey Kong, Metroid Prime 4. Again, I think Pokemon in spring of 25.
Donkey Kong
right?
versus Godzilla.
So that's still the first 6 months.
What's the big third-party game to showcase that this is like the serious like
Final Fantasy VII remake?
Like
no, I'm serious.
On 8
No, I'm not fucking around.
Let's talk like something that's new, right? Like something that's coming out soon. I will tell you.
2K
I'll tell you what it is.
Final Fantasy VII remake running on a Switch would fucking blow minds.
Yeah, I have a genuine one for you. Okay,
that is a genuine one.
Yeah, but that's not a new game. That's been out.
Fine.
That's what I'm saying. Is like something big. Like when this thing gets revealed.
Grand Theft Auto 6. Go ahead and say it.
Yeah, no. Monster Hunter Wilds.
Ooh.
Monster Hunter Wilds will be on Switch too as well.
Okay.
And that's going to be huge because you are talking about the follow-up to Capcom's biggest game ever, right? Monster Hunter World is a game so big that even like the COD bros and the people who only play FIFA played that game. Monster Hunter Wilds
will probably be the best-selling console of all time.
Monster Hunter Wilds is a killer app, and I get the feeling that thing will run on Switch too. I really do.
At what resolution and frame rate?
Because this is a next.
That's the nice thing. It has
like,
DLSS. We already know that the Switch 2 or that the Switch 2, whatever it is, can run that Matrix Tech demo at comparable to the PS5, roughly. Right?
We're gonna get a Series S basically, like almost
so
like slightly above it.
It's gonna run fine.
Can you imagine the demand for a Switch that can do that?
It's not gonna be as good as a PS5 or Xbox Series X, but
people aren't gonna give a shit, dude. The Switch out the Switch
it'll
is a
run,
fucking monster.
Yeah. So I think that's and as Jackie points out, here's the thing. It's a Monster Hunter's a big multiplayer game, right? That's huge. Dude, especially you're talking Japan, Monster Hunter like is portable gaming in Japan, right? Like that will move you some Switch 2 units. That locks you down in an entire nation. So that's
what about Mass Effect?
Never coming out.
No, because Dragon Age needs to come out first, which will also never come out.
Yeah.
I forgot about Dragon Quest.
Dragon Age. What a great! Thank you for that wet fart to
Dragon Quest 12. Dragon Quest 12 is going to be focused
this year,
on.
But we get a full fat trailer for it.
It's going to be focused on Switch 2. Guarantee you.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I
11.
can see that.
That's going to be a Nintendo marketing deal.
Yep.
11 was supposed to come out on. You don't think Sony's going to nab it first?
No. Nope.
No.
Really? They're even good enough with the Final Fantasy stuff.
Dragon Quest has been showing the love to Nintendo, and that's where they feel like they belong.
So you think the next main?
I think Dragon Quest 12 is it comes out on Switch and PlayStation and Xbox. I think it comes out multiplat, but I think Nintendo gets the marketing.
You're gonna see Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D release this year for sure. I think it's time.
Yep.
They need an HD 2D release this year, and that's going to be it.
All right. Yeah, that's better. That's a better way to end one.
So we're I think we could probably wrap it up here.
Sure. Fuck
it. Gabe, dude, it was so nice to see you,
buddy. You see you thriving, man.
Look at your smiling face, man. Like
what?
You're happy and you're thriving, and it's good to see you, dude.
Great to see you guys too, man.
Did you get your are you in Oh.
I just want to show you something. I think it's been a long time since you guys seen this.
He's gonna pull up a human head, isn't he?
Old man.
Yeah! Look at that, buddy! Look at that, buddy!
Alive and kicking.
He's got some gray on his muzzle. Look at the boy.
I don't like the gray on the muzzle, man.
Love that boy.
Right? 10 years old now.
Wow.
You're giving me
that look. That is a face I haven't seen in a long fucking time.
A long time. Look at all the gray hair.
He's a distinguished gentleman.
I don't like that at all. No, Gabe, you're in the Discord now, right? Like you hopped in the Discord.
Yeah. I'm not on the server.
The link is
yet.
in the call chat right here. So get your ass in our Discord, buddy.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Hey man.
Derek, do you want to go ahead and Derek, do you want to sign us off tonight, or do you want me to do it?
Yeah, I can sign us off. Thanks everybody for joining us tonight. First show of the new year. First show of and we got JT in chat too. Lovely. Man.
Oh,
We need
yeah.
to have
Talk
JT
about a
back on, too. We need a
reunion.
reunion.
But as mentioned here, please join the Discord. We're almost, I think we're over 400 people in that Discord. It is a great, safe, heavily moderated space for people to discuss all kinds of geeky and silly bullshit. It's just a good, safe, heavily moderated community for folks from all different kinds of backgrounds, walks of life. We have a big January in store because we have our Game of the Year show coming up sometime in the next couple weeks. I know that in a couple weeks we're having Reb Valentine back on to do
Reb.
a like 2023 like recap, the good, the bad, the ugly for the
In the
industry.
military, we would call this a hot wash.
Sure. Maybe you could have made that up.
We'll
I'm
do a
not
hot
challenging
wash or
you on
something.
that. You know, if for those who have the resources, remember that you can support us either through subs on Twitch or by throwing a buck or two at our Patreon. That just helps us with like travel expenses to things like PAX East, which almost the entire crew is going to be at in a couple of months. So
Almost
we'll get you guys.
almost the only person who's not going is Jeff, unfortunately, which makes me sad because I'm going to miss Jeff.
Yeah, it turns out
But
it's kind of hard to
everybody got
constantly fly to America from another country.
I know,
So.
but everybody got approved for media badges.
Yeah, we did good, and we're gonna make sure we get some good interviews. We got a panel coming up that hasn't officially been approved, but we know is gonna get approved. It's gonna be a good time. But remember that you all can help us afford to do more of these events by dropping a couple bucks there.
And one more thing, Derek.
Yes,
You can also find all this podcast and all our other podcasts on all your favorite podcast apps. So that's where we get the majority of our listens.
Right.
So
right.
check us out.
Of course. And with nothing else I can think of to bring up, no further housekeeping. Remember, folks, kindness costs nothing. So take care of each other.